Book summary by Teddy Bear's Storytime.
Speak is a young adult novel by Laurie Halse Anderson that explores the harrowing aftermath of sexual assault. The novel is narrated by Melinda, a high school freshman who becomes isolated after calling the police at a summer party. She retreats into silence, unable to speak about the traumatic incident that caused her to make the call, her rape by a popular senior, Andy Evans. The novel chronicles Melinda's journey of healing, finding her voice, and speaking out about her trauma. Characters: Melinda, the protagonist and narrator, a high school freshman struggling with the emotional aftermath of sexual assault. Andy Evans, the antagonist, a popular senior who rapes Melinda at a summer party. Rachel Bruin, Melinda's former best friend, who distances herself from Melinda after the party. Heather, a new girl from Ohio who initially befriends Melinda but later abandons her. Mr. Freeman, the supportive art teacher who encourages Melinda to express herself through her artwork. David Petrikis, Melinda's intelligent and outspoken lab partner who becomes an inspiration to her. Melinda's parents, Melinda's emotionally distant and preoccupied parents, who fail to notice their daughter's distress. Nicole, a former friend of Melinda and a talented athlete who is part of Rachel's new group. Book summary. First marking period. Melinda starts her freshman year of high school as an outcast. At a summer party, she called the police, and though no one knows the real reason, her peers blame her for ruining the event. Melinda becomes silent and withdrawn, avoiding interactions with others, and retreating into herself. She befriends a new student, Heather, who is desperate to fit in but remains distant from her old friends, like Rachel. Melinda's isolation grows as she feels alienated from everyone, including her family. In art class, Mr. Freeman encourages his students to express themselves, and Melinda is assigned the task of creating art based on a tree, though she struggles to make progress. Second marking period. Melinda's emotional state worsens, and she finds refuge in a janitor's closet at school, which she transforms into her personal sanctuary. She spends much of her time there, avoiding her classmates and teachers. Her grades begin to slip as her silence deepens. Meanwhile, Heather becomes involved with a group called the Marthas, and distances herself from Melinda, further deepening her isolation. In biology class, Melinda forms a tentative friendship with her lab partner, David Petrikis, who stands up to an unfair teacher, inspiring Melinda to consider speaking out. Third marking period. Melinda's emotional pain intensifies, and flashbacks reveal the truth of what happened at the summer party. Andy Evans, a popular senior, raped her. The trauma of the assault is what caused Melinda to call the police, but she has been unable to speak about it since. As she struggles with her silence, Melinda continues to work on her tree art project, which becomes a metaphor for her emotional growth. Heather ends their friendship, claiming that Melinda's negativity is holding her back socially. This abandonment pushes Melinda further into her depression. Fourth marking period. As the school year comes to a close, Melinda's recovery slowly begins. She starts to express herself through her artwork, and her tree project evolves from something lifeless to something full of growth and potential. Melinda also begins to confront her trauma. After learning that Rachel is dating Andy, she tries to warn her, though Rachel initially dismisses her concerns. Melinda eventually finds the courage to write a note to Rachel explaining what happened at the party. The note prompts Rachel to break up with Andy. In a climactic scene, Andy corners Melinda in the janitor's closet, attempting to assault her again, but this time Melinda fights back. Her struggle draws attention, and the truth about Andy's actions comes to light. In the end, Melinda begins to reclaim her voice and starts the process of healing. Themes. Silence and voice. The theme of silence is central to Speak. Melinda's silence represents her inability to process and communicate the trauma of her rape. Over the course of the novel, she learns that speaking out is crucial to reclaiming her identity and healing. Trauma and recovery. the novel portrays the emotional aftermath of sexual assault and the long, difficult journey toward recovery. Melinda's isolation and self-doubt highlight the impact of trauma, while her gradual reclamation of her voice symbolizes hope and empowerment. Identity and self-expression. Melinda's struggle with her identity is mirrored in her art project. The tree she must create becomes a metaphor for her own growth, resilience, and potential for renewal, even after the devastation she has endured. Peer pressure and high school dynamics. The high school setting is a microcosm of social hierarchies, bullying, and peer pressure. Melinda's alienation demonstrates the cruelty of high school dynamics, where her peers ostracize her without understanding her pain. Support and compassion. While Melinda's parents and many of her teachers fail to recognize her suffering, Mr. Freeman and David Petrikis serve as supportive figures. Mr. Freeman's encouragement helps Melinda find an outlet for her pain, while David's courage in standing up to authority inspires her to confront her own challenges. Analysis. Use of symbolism. The tree serves as a powerful symbol of Melinda's growth and recovery. Her struggle to draw and sculpt the tree mirrors her emotional journey, and as she heals, her artwork becomes more vibrant and alive. First-person narrative. The novel's first-person perspective allows readers to experience Melinda's thoughts and emotions intimately. Her dry humor and sardonic observations mask her deep pain, making her internal struggle even more poignant. Realistic depiction of high school. Anderson captures the social intricacies of high school life, from cliques and bullying to the pressures of fitting in. This realistic portrayal makes Melinda's isolation and her eventual empowerment resonate deeply with young adult readers. Melinda's journey of empowerment. Melinda's transition from silence to speaking out is a powerful message about the importance of self-advocacy and breaking the cycle of victimization. Her decision to fight back against Andy in the final confrontation signifies her reclaiming of control over her life. Art as therapy. Melinda's art project becomes a therapeutic tool, allowing her to process her emotions when words fail her. The act of creating helps her to externalize her pain and begin the healing process, demonstrating the therapeutic power of self-expression. Conclusion. Speak is a profound and powerful novel that tackles the difficult subject of sexual assault and its aftermath. Through Melinda's story, Laurie Halse Anderson gives a voice to survivors of trauma, illustrating the complex emotional journey from silence to self-empowerment. The novel's themes of identity, trauma, and recovery resonate deeply, especially for young adult readers who may be grappling with their own challenges. Melinda's transformation from a silent, withdrawn girl to a young woman who bravely speaks out against her attacker is an inspiring testament to the strength and resilience of survivors. Speak not only serves as an important narrative for understanding the effects of sexual violence but also provides a hopeful message about the power of finding one's voice, reclaiming control, and beginning the process of healing. In the end, Melinda's courage to speak out serves as a reminder that, no matter how deep the trauma, recovery and renewal are always possible. The end. Love the book summary. Subscribe Teddy Bear's Storytime YouTube channel now. Like the video. Turn on the notifications. And leave your comments. See you in next book.